see. So is there a reason why I'm choosing specific colors? Not particularly. Sometimes I like to use complementary colors, especially for the underpainting. But I just feel like it can create just a more harmonious feel, add some warmth, and I just love vibrant colors too. I think they're so fun, and adds a little bit more life. Okay. So if this is my green over here, if I'm using purples and oranges for greens, then I'm going to continue that over here. All right, let's see what color should we do. Maybe I just do some darks in here to kind of, because I do still want to keep the value true. And the painting is much more interesting when there are variations in value. And I'm probably not gonna include these flowers in the foreground until I get to the dry pastel. So right now, I'm just gonna, let's do a little maybe yellow in there. Yeah, so right now, I'm just gonna add the big basic shapes, and then we'll get into the smaller details later. Do I wanna add blue here? Maybe a little bit of red. This is a bit deeper than just that yellow. And then I'll add the blue and more colors on top. But being that I'm being a little bit more abstract with this painting too, I might leave some colors just really bold and vibrant rather than pushing them all back to their original colors. Maybe I leave some of those just a little bit bolder and a little bit more vibrant or a different color. It doesn't have to be something that's found in nature. Sometimes it's fun to mix it up a little bit. Okay, and so here's my alcohol. I just use a big brush, and you can see that when I add this, it liquefies the pastels like magic. I love this process. It's so much fun, and it's it really creates a pretty vibrant background. And then you also don't have to worry about the white of the paper showing through later either. And I think it's actually fun to have some of these vibrant colors showing through. So when I go on to add some of those dry layers, I'm not as concerned with covering the whole background because I want some of this to show through. Okay. Probably could have gone a little bit darker with some of those trees, but that's okay. And I'm actually just using my brush to sort of just dab in some areas to create some of that extra texture. Let's see. I got a bridge here, but we'll build that up a little more later. So just changing up some of the texture based on how I move my brush. Let's see. With water, I often like to make horizontal brush strokes so that it looks like it's laying flat. And I covered up a lot of those highlights for the reflections of the sky. So I'll just come back in with my dry pastel. That's fine. Not too worried about it. Maybe if I have some of this brown on my brush, maybe I add a little bit of that back into the trees in the background. So during class, I'll post this photograph. You're welcome to work from this one. You're welcome to bring your own photo. Or I'll also bring in a nature magazine that everyone can flip through if you'd prefer to use one of those images. There's a lot of gorgeous ones. All right, and then just going right over where those flowers will be. So we'll add them on a little bit later. Look how fun and vibrant it is. And just trying to create some fun texture in here. A lot of this is going to be covered up, but some of it might show through. So, and last little spot, and then we let it dry and come back. Okay. So there is our underpainting.